creative trends for 2025 going into 2026. We're talking web design, animation, social, packaging, advertising, and everything in between. Number 1, hyper-realistic. First up, we've got hyper-realistic. This is where we're seeing design go from graphic to something you can almost reach out and touch. Think of design elements that feel super realistic. Real textures, real shadows, real lighting. And for anyone who loves 3D design, this is going to be something that you're going to love this year. This is going to be your playground. And what's really cool is we're seeing programs like Adobe Firefly really step up and help you create these hyper-realistic, customized designs that are honestly so cool. If you're a little bit more old school, you can still achieve this look. It's just going to take a lot more effort. Number 2, customized typography. Another big trend that we're seeing gain momentum is custom typography, which is awesome. There are more and more big brands that are leveraging customized and even hand-drawn typography, and it's great. This level of dedication to craft is something that I am personally here for as a typography lover. And there have been some pretty big strides in terms of software that have made customized typography much more accessible to all graphic designers. And so I personally hope that we see more and more of this trend in the future. Number 3, anaglyphs. Anaglyph effects are like those old school 3D red and blue glasses, like when you misalign them and you kind of get that cool effect. It's sort of like a throwback to early 3D movies, but now it's showing up in everything from poster design, album covers, and sometimes even website animations. Anaglyphs effects are really cool because they sort of add a glitchy, distorted feel that make designs feel really bold and edgy, but you can turn down the volume and make them feel just really, really cool. So if you're working on things like digital artwork or something that just needs that sort of unique twist, anaglyphs are something really powerful because they can kind of be that memorable thing that will help you stand out without being over the top. It's sort of a cool way to create depth and visual intrigue, and you can apply it to just about any medium. Number 4, characters within branding. Now, cartoon characters or characters within branding are really big this year, particularly within the world of branding. It's nostalgic, but it's approachable. It kind of gives the brand a contemporary vibe. It's really cool. Now, I'm not talking about like cereal box characters or mascots. It's more contemporary than that. These characters are really cool. They add personality, they help brands feel relatable, and particularly for new brands, this is kind of an easy way to sort of feel quite memorable and friendly very quickly. Plus, for those of you who are into illustration, this is a fantastic chance for you to showcase your unique style. And I found that the more hand-drawn and bespoke they are, the more contemporary they feel, the more personality-focused they feel, and they feel a lot more cohesive. Number 5, auroras. Now, auroras are pretty popular in web design, and I foresee this coming outside of web design, particularly when applying more contemporary color palettes. Now, within web design, these sort of create this stunning, light diffused background, and they're kind of just begging for interactivity. These soft gradient hues can, of course, mimic the colors of the northern lights, but I'm seeing this trend thrive with other more contemporary color palettes. Aurora effects are perfect for websites where you want users to really linger, or any application where you want this sort of natural, gentle motion, really bring an immersive experience, and depending on the color palette, can actually be quite calming. So if you're looking for a web experience that feels modern, auroras are a very cool effect that you might want to try applying. Number 6, bento boxes. All right, let's talk about bento boxes. So they've been around for a little bit in 2024 going into 2025, and they don't seem like they're going away anytime soon. So if you want to think about this, just imagine your design laid out in very clean but separate compartments. So sort of like a well-organized bento box. Now, I personally find them a little bit tough to design with in the real world, but if you get it right, it's very cool. It is an amazing way to guide viewers' eyes sort of through these different sections without overwhelming them. Great visual hierarchy. And it's also great for people who have that sort of minimalistic vibe, but of course you want to keep things fresh as well. But like I said, I found them a little bit hard to maintain, but that might just be me. If you love them, very cool effect to try this year. Number 7, neomorphism. Now, neomorphism is a minimalistic trend that has been around with UI elements, and it sort of gives it a 3D sort of soft look, kind of gives like a sleek, almost touchable vibe. Now, they've been super trendy on a lot of imaginary projects, but it's been sort of discouraged in real-world application because it doesn't always hit accessibility guidelines within UI, which of course is really important. However, I personally think that this trend works really well outside of UI, particularly when creating hero images or background elements. Typography, that's more leverage for visual interest than it is about legibility. Packaging is a really interesting place for this as well because it sort of becomes tactile. I think if you take the core elements outside of this trend and apply them in other areas of graphic design, or even areas outside of graphic design, like animation or photography, then you're in a really cool place. Number 8, dark mode. Now, moving on to something that is pretty eye-catching is dark mode. It's really, really cool. Now, you can pump it up and add like a neon sort of against this dark background, and it kind of gives this sort of like digital meets late night vibe, which is really, really cool. Or you can stick with monochromatic and live in this very dark, minimalistic vibe. It's so cool. It's also really cool outside of graphic design too. We're seeing this pop up in industrial design, experiential, and a lot in interior design as well. But let me tell you, it looks so cool on the web as well. I love it. Number 9, AI generated. Obviously, AI was going to be in here somewhere. It's going to be a big one for 2025. I don't think there's a shock there. And I know it might sound intimidating because, of course, this is kind of a scary thought. But to be honest, it can be a huge help. Now, I think AI can automate some of the less fun parts of our jobs, which gives, it's not such a bad thing. It gives you more time to work on the elements of your career that you absolutely love. So this can be a really big time saver if you want to enhance your work. Make sure you're enhancing rather than replacing your creativity though. For example, for myself, I use Midjourney to help during my time crunches. So during pitches, Midjourney has been really helpful for me to help clients visualize what our team will create over the next few months during a project. It also helps sell ideas through to clients that might otherwise be a little bit more conservative or the projects might be daunting. We've used it quite a bit on experiential pitches and film and video pitches. Another area that I've loved using it for is specifically on mood boarding for photography pitches. So on photography shoots where it assists during the mood boarding phase and the planning phase, it also can help a little bit on the retouching phase, but it doesn't replace any of the hard work on set or the craft or creativity of the team. If anything, it just helps us move faster to our own vision. Now, AI is obviously something that feels very scary to all designers, and hey, I can't read the future myself. Maybe it will replace our jobs one day. But right now, in 2025, it's simply a powerful tool to enhance, not replace our creativity. So embracing it isn't such a bad idea at this point if you're smart about how you use it. Okay, number 10, accessible design. And finally, rounding out our top 10 is not a trend really, it's rather a responsibility. But it has been gaining more and more momentum every single year that comes along, and it's something that every single graphic designer out there needs to be paying attention to. It's all about creating work that everyone can enjoy and participate within, whether that be people with visual impairments, physical or audible impairments, or just varying degrees of digital experience. Small things like high contrast colors, legible typography, and thoughtful layouts can make a huge difference. And there you have it, the top 10 graphic design styles and trends to watch out for in 2025 going into 2026.